Hi, Roy Williams with Airframe Components, and welcome back to episode 6 of the Cessna 185 Restoration Project. As you know, we had a 2-year hiatus on getting this project back up and running. Now that we have it going, we're going full tilt on this. In our last episode, we had the aircraft all broken down, ready for paint. Here we are a week later at Sturgis Aviation in the finishing bay with the base coat of paint put on. And we're ready to start applying trim colors. I have with me today Tony Luke, one of the newest partners at Sturgis Aviation. Even though you're the new guy here, you still have some experience painting airplanes. Give us a little bit of your pedigree, a little bit of your background in aircraft painting.
Yeah, got quite a few years. Coming right up on 33 years of doing aircraft aviation paint, all paint. So basically, Danny King hired me in Battle Creek back in January of 1993. And then I worked for him about 7 years there and ventured out to further my career and ended up working out west at a couple of big facilities and then turn around and as life spins it around, I ended up back in Battle Creek working for the same place that I started for when Danny actually hired me. And we had been talking back and forth over the years, and during COVID, we were short on the supply chain basically was a little bit short. So Danny had something I needed. I started talking to Danny again on a more regular basis. And later we discussed, his business partner, Dave Laporte, was actually retiring and asked me if I'd like to come aboard down here. And I was like, man, I don't know. I thought about it and talked it over with my wife, and I did the leap of faith.
But you've been here, a couple years now?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Yeah. And so far, so good. So, yeah.
Loving it.
The new guys doing okay.
Yeah.
So typically, Sturgis Aviation, your main focus is corporate turboprops, corporate jets, things like that. The single engine piston airplane is kind of an anomaly for you guys. But let's say a mid-sized jet comes in here. What is the calendar time from the time a jet shows up till the time it rolls back out to bring that in, strip it down, and paint it? About how many calendar days are we talking?
We're running about 27 calendar days, pretty much industry standards. We stay within those margins too.
Okay. And a lot of man hours. You've got quite a crew here of young guys tearing these planes down and getting them sanded and painted back up. So 27 days, that's a lot of man hours. About how many man hours do we typically have into a full strip and paint?
Usually run about 600 to 750 hours.
600 to 750 hours per aircraft. And you said you're doing about how many a year?
We do 18 to 20.
18 to 20 per year. So you've got quite a good overlap of projects while one's being finished up and another one's being started. So you're continually rolling the projects through here.
Correct.
But I know one of the things you guys don't like about these smaller, older aircraft is they typically come in, they're beat up. You either have hail damage, hangar rash, old repairs, improper repairs, oil cans. So it takes a lot of extra labor costs into just trying to get these airplanes smoothed out and looking presentable. What they always talk about in the paint industry is that it's all about the prep and all the prep work it takes. Painting the aircraft is only a small portion of the whole overall labor cost.
Correct. Yeah, the prep is pretty much everything. It's like they say, why does a Big Mac taste the same in Michigan as it does in California? Because there's a process and a procedure.
Yeah.
We do the same process and procedure on a jet as we would do on a Cessna 185. So we don't cut corners. Everybody gets the same quality job, through and through.
But one of the things that I like, of course, on my aircraft is when they come in here, we've already reskinned the wings, the controls, we've stripped the paint off of the fuselage, made sure that all the skins are replaced that need it. So when our aircraft show up here, you don't have to do any stripping, you don't have to do much body work. You're still going to have the odds and ends of skiffing in a little bit of filler here and there. But for the most part, these things come to you ready to start priming. It's going to save a little bit of labor, but you've still got a lot of labor in just, even if it comes in bare, it's still going to take a lot to get it to the point where it's ready to paint.
Correct. Yeah, the masking procedure and the protecting of any sensitive areas on the aircraft is still ends up being the same. You save yourself about 50 hours for the silver tape and strip part of it, and then surface sanding. So yeah, we still have to go over every square inch of it, do our same process that we typically would do to get this end product.
So here at Sturgis Aviation, your brand of choice is the Sherwin-Williams line. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and they have different types of paint even within the Sherwin-Williams line, right?
Yeah, we shoot Acroglow for the trim colors. We have a mixing bank, so usually when a customer picks colors through Scheme Designer or whoever or whatever they spec out, we're able to mix everything in-house.
And you will shoot any brand that is out there if it's spec'd out by a customer for a certain color. You're not opposed to other brands, but Sherwin-Williams single stage. So walk us through, an aircraft comes in, it gets stripped down, gets cleaned up. Walk us through the process of getting that built back up from the prime coat. How many different prime coats go on just, from all the prep work that goes into an aircraft?
Well, typically on a smaller aircraft, or we'll just start with the jet. Basically, it gets an epoxy primer, just like what the 185 did. But then we put a fill primer over top of it, cures overnight. We come in, we fill bond all the rivet rows so there's no smiles, and then we sand that with 320. We fill any little dings or dents that were missed during the process, and then turn around and sandwich that back in with epoxy primer and fill primer again, and then resand everything, blow the aircraft, and then we wipe the aircraft, we tack it, and we're ready to shoot top coat.
Yeah. So they make it sound so easy.
I wish it was.
But on this particular project, and again, in our last episode, we had the whole empennage removed from the aircraft. We had the flaps, the ailerons off. We bring it in, we paint the fuselage, paint all the controls separately. But then at this point now, we have to reassemble it, get the tail back on the aircraft to get the stripes laid out. We had to call in Dave Laporte, call him out of retirement and have him come in and help stripe it. He's worked on every other project we had, so he told Dave to get off the couch and come back in and help us get this thing taped up. Once we get the mask laid out, we used our friends at Scheme Designers to help us render up a paint scheme that we like. And once we get it masked, then we take the tail back off to paint those parts again individually off the aircraft.
Yeah, it's just cleaner when you do it like that. I mean, it's the attention to details that we provide that a lot of places don't do. They typically will leave it all together, paint the stripe that cuts through the stab area and not remove that so the paint's actually dry underneath of it. That's some of the things that we do for our customers to go above and beyond.
And again, we use Sturgis Aviation on a weekly basis. Components that we repair, either wings or control surfaces. We offer paint as an additional service, value-added service to our customers. That way they can receive the component ready to pull out of the box, bolt on the aircraft, and go fly. So again, you guys help us provide great service to customers. One of the things I did learn about on this particular project is that there's a running bet between you and Danny. They each paint one side of the aircraft, and then after the fact, they have is it a $2 bet?
It's a $2 bill.
It's a $2 bill. We bet on which side is the nicest looking side. And I'm not sure who all judges that, if it's just the two of you. Or...
he conceded on this one. So. He's going to hate that I let that out, but at the end of the day, Danny's a great painter, and he's got plenty of years experience. I think he's been painting since 1978.
But Tony's $2 richer.
I'm $2 richer.
So stay tuned for our next episode of the 185 project. Next time we come back, we'll have all the trim colors laid out on this thing. 3 additional colors. So that means 3 additional days of painting on there and unmasking and remasking to get all the stripes laid out. But on our next episode, we should have this thing all painted, and then it'll be reassembling the aircraft back together and then get ready to deliver it to our friends at Indy Jet Center for the interior installation. That's all for today's episode. Stay tuned for future videos from Airframe Components.